How do you feel about the hate between Chicano and Mexican groups coming the other way? I guess for like people who first get here.
I experienced it on both sides, believe it or not.
I believe
Because
you because you have a very American sounding voice.
sure.
English is.
Yeah, man, look. The first time that I experienced it very blatantly, I was 19, I believe. I was on my way down to go buy some sunflower seeds. I was addicted to them at that time. And when I was coming back home, there was a group of just a bunch of Mexicans. And you could tell, it's something that we could tell. You could tell that they just arrived from Mexico not that long ago. If you know, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, 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 yeah. Without
Um,
saying
yeah,
it.
I was walking down and I seen a bunch of them in the driveway. I was passing by and I just said, "Hey, cómo están?" Just saying hello. And I guess because of the way I'm dressed, the way that I speak Spanish, I speak it fluently, but I don't speak it probably like them. ¿Quieres una cerveza? I was like, yeah, sure, 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 sure. So I go over there and look, take a little, sip. I was chilling there. All them dudes were like older in their 40s, 50s, but there was just one guy there that was like 23 something. He was like around my age, right? And that dude was really cool, man. We're just talking a little bit. He had one of those button-up shirts, the checkered shirts. And it was open and it was cold, man. It was winter. And I told him, I was like, hey, man, why don't you put a sweater on? I had a sweater. I was all cozy up. I was like, why don't you put a sweater on? He's like, oh, I don't have one. And I was like, well, what you mean you don't have one? Yeah, I don't have it. And it's like, you don't have one in your house? He's like, oh, I'm just staying here. I just arrived last night. I was like, from
Dang.
where? He's like, from Mexico. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, oh. He's like, yeah, this is all I came with. This is all I got. Now, I came to this country really, really young at the age of 5. And so I know that struggle. And it hurt. It hurt. I know what he's about to go through. He's about to be mocked, humiliated because he can't speak English. He's going to be confused. He's going to be lost. It's a struggle, man. It's a struggle when you first come to this country, man. It's tough. And I asked all these guys too. I was like, hey, you guys just came here too? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And bro, believe it or not, like I got teary eyed a little bit. I did, man. Because I was like, these guys
No,
are
because
all
you can
about to
sympathize
face.
with it.
Excuse me?
Because you can sympathize with it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, I could identify with it. Not just sympathize, but I identify. I know this. I know this walk, you know? And I got a little teary eyed, man. I'm not gonna lie. And it was born out of my heart to tell him, hey, I'll be back. So I went back home and I grabbed a bunch of sweaters and jackets that I never use anymore. I just started stuffing them in a bag. And I went back over there and I started, I came with a bag and they were looking at me like, what the hell? And I started sharing my stuff. Like, hey, here's some pants that I don't use anymore. Here's a sweater, here's a jacket. And everybody started putting, and I wasn't able to supply for everybody, but I got a good amount. It was obvious that all of these guys just arrived and whoever owned that house was the person that was going to employ these people because that's how it goes. That's how it
Hmm.
goes. More than likely, the person who owns or rents this house paid for these guys to get here so he could use them as labor, as cheap labor. That's just how it goes. People
And
need
then
to
they owe
understand
him.
that. Exactly. And so, whatever the case, with that said, a pickup truck pulls up and this Mexican dude pops out of there, right? And well dressed, everything big old buckle, the cowboy shit. He comes over and then he's like saying hello to these guys and then he looks at me kind of like who's this? Because I identified him as somebody that has lived in this country for a while. I said what's up to him? Hey, what's up, man? Like in English, right? And so I guess he assumed because of me saying what's up and without an accent, he probably assumed, oh, this is a pocho, right? And so whatever the case, he walked up to these guys and he said to them, ¿Quién es ese pocho? Straight up like that. ¿Quién es ese pocho? And he's like, oh, es un compa, estaba pasando, le dimos una cerveza, nos trajo suéteres, whoop, 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 whatever. And then he straight up, as I believe, assuming he didn't know I understood Spanish, straight up told them, a este no le den la espalda porque se lo meten. Which means you never turn your back on these kind because he'll stick it in. And when he said that, bro, I'm not gonna lie, like I started getting teary. Like I started crying because these are my people, man. Like you guys are my people. Like so wait, you see someone that looks like you and you see your enemy? Because I'm born in this side of the border? That makes us enemies? We're the same people, but I'm your enemy because I was born over here? So whatever the case, to answer your question, is like, I've experienced this and I'm not even born in this country and I've experienced it. Just because somebody assumed that I was born in this country. That's one of the things that I've always heard, like Mexican people say, is ese cabrón es un vendido. Dice que no es mexicano. Mira la pinche cara de nopal.
I was about to say it.
Right? It's like, if you have this phenotype that we have, you have to be from Mexico. And that's the misconception. We're so misinformed and so many hundreds of years assimilated that we think that the American, the white tea man, they don't realize that the original people from here look like us. We're so assimilated, so misinformed and ethnically misplaced that we really think that the American is el gringo, is a white tea man. How can you say you're not from Mexico? Look at your face. And it's like, no, man. People that look like us are not just from Mexico. Pop that bubble that you live in. People that look like us are everywhere in the Americas. Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Peru, everywhere. We are the face. We are the phenotype of this whole American continent. But something's going on with the Mexican when they say that, though, man. They're so uneducated.
The people in Mexico have been taught to think that everybody that looks like us is Mexican.
Yeah.
That Mexican is a race. That somos the mismo pueblo. We're all the same raza, but we're not. We're the face of the people that were before Mexico. We're the face of the people who Mexico tried to get rid of.
How about this? We are the people before Mexico. We are the people before United States. We are the people before Canada. This is what we've always looked like before the idea of country and or colony. And as long as people don't realize and understand this, we're always going to be doing this, you know. Pero como que no eres de México, cabrón. Mírate la cara. We're always going to go through this, man. It's like literally every generation, this is what we say, you know.
And see, for people that's had this negative view on people from Texas, quote unquote, Chicanos from Texas or Mexican Americans, you got to understand that we've been separated from Mexico since 1836, legally. We've been independent, and then we joined the United States in 1844, right before the Hidalgo signature. And a lot of us with indigenous blood had to pretend to be Mexican because we were being hunted and unalive for looking like the way we do, or having our hair the way that we have it now. So we hid under this idea of what it is Mexican at the time. So they learned and they've figured out a way to get close to whiteness the same way we do in Mexico, the same way we do in Latin America. It's just with the English term. So now when you got 5 generations of people who have always tried to be more white, Mexicans that we just get here, they're like, oh, those vatos are vendidos. They put cheese on their tacos. Like, what is wrong with these people? But they forget the history that those people had to survive under to become who they are. That's why I'm very strong on the Chicano idea, because it's not a representation of immigration that just got here. It's a representation of the people who were relabeled American and had to fight just to exist, to keep any bit of culture.
Yeah, that's what the Chicano pretty much is, or at least the origin of it.
The origin, yes. After 1960, it's a different pedal. And then after 1970s and 1980s influx of other immigrating populations, it changed again. And now in the 90s, there was the mixture of Asian and Polynesian influence into the Chicano culture. And now it's, everybody's Chicano now.
But we could say the same about the word Mexican, by the way. But the word Chicano is not the same. It doesn't mean the same anymore. Anyone could claim it just by being born here and having some form of sense of, I came from Mexico somehow, some way. I come from Mexican great-great-grandparents, so I'm a Chicano because I'm not a Mexican, but I was born here. It's a ball of confusion, really.
Yeah, I mean, my first experience, of course, was way, way younger. And it hurt you. But I was, 4 or 5 the first time I got told that I was different than the other brown people that looked like me. And I was, I wasn't so much shunned, but I was pushed away from the group, and I didn't know or what it even meant. I didn't understand that. I'm like, I'm not welcomed by these white people.
Sure.
And I'm not welcomed by the other brown people.
Sure.
So I'm like, so what am I, you know what I mean? And that's why a lot of people have an issue with us becoming ourselves. I think the issue is that they know their kids are going to be us. And I think it bothers them. I think the whole thing with that little girl from Oregon, when she came and drank the soda out of the bag, Yaritza.
Oh
I
yeah.
think everybody hated on her so bad because she reminds them of their kids, and they know that they cannot travel back and forth freely to introduce their kids to the culture. And I think it's terrifying. I think it makes them angry that they can't, I guess, fit in as well as a person who grows up here. Like I'm sure your time was a lot easier than your parents' time because you were
Of
growing
course.
up, you know.
Mhm.
And I think it. I don't know. I can't speak for them, but I wish that the separation wasn't here.
And it's strong too. The separation is very strong. A lot of people, especially black people, always tell me things like, damn man, I wish us black folks were like you Mexicans. You guys are like this. And I'm like, no, we're not. From the outside looking in, it may seem like that, but trust me, there is such a strong divide.